Star Citizen is updating this game insanely fast right now. It's out of control. We've got spaceships with freaking tractor beams right now. The long-awaited Argo SRV, aka Star Citizen's tugboat, is here. Well, it's here in the new EPTU build of the game, along with several other ships getting tractor beams to help load and unload cargo or steal things from other ships. The new Spirit C1 is also out for testing in the EPTU, and it can strip weapons from ships using the tractor beam and store it in the cargo bay. Been waiting for this kind of functionality for quite a while, and it's awesome to finally see it. And several other ships are also supposed to have this kind of functionality as well, like the Cutlass, Caterpillar, 315P, Vulture, and Reclaimer, and I think a few others. Naturally, a lot of this new functionality is a bit janky, and CIG is not really looking for feedback at this stage, but more just focused on seeing if it actually works at all. There's some additional features with this new EPTU patch, like ship trespassing. So if a person boards your ship while they're not in your party and without your permission, they can get a crime stat, and I think you can even shoot them. Then of course CIG has implemented new, better AI code for NPCs, and I'm sure they're still responding like sloths. But CIG is dropping content and patches at a breakneck pace right now. They're also testing a new headlight feature for most ships, which has been sorely needed. Right now I've got 4 different builds of this game on my poor hard drive, and I kind of feel like a full-time QA tester. Many players, myself included, are starting to wonder just how many devs have shifted their focus back to the persistent universe as Squadron 42 enters the polish phase of its development. It seems like a lot considering the progress CIG is making, and it could mean many more exciting features are coming into the game for the rest of the year, and potentially making 2024 a much stronger year for Star Citizen. Fingers crossed. Alright, let's check out this Argo SRV real quick. Branded as more of a service ship, I think the SRV could end up becoming one of the more useful piracy and theft ships in the game. With a massive size 5 tractor beam, this is, as far as I know, the only ship that can pull other ships in the game. I'm not yet sure on the mass limit, but so far it's been confirmed to be able to pull a whole sea into quantum space. So basically, if you ever wondered, well, what happens when your engine gets blown off or disabled in space and you can't go anywhere? Well, you could call one of these ships out to tug you back to a service station to repair. That said, I don't expect to see player towing as being a major element to the SRV. I would imagine for the less criminally minded, this ship is going to be more reliant on missions to generate income. I would expect those missions to involve rescuing stranded ships or pulling derelict ships away from stations, or maybe even over to scrapyards. Perhaps some crossover mission locations between salvaging and tugging ships. For criminals though, the sky is the limit with this type of gameplay. See a space cow you want? Beam it on up. Someone left a package of gold on their cargo pad? Maybe you can beam it over before they notice. Did you and your pirate buddies disable an entire cargo ship full of gold, but you really don't have time to transfer that cargo over at the scene of the crime because the cops or backup is on the way? No problem. Tractor that ship over to your pirate base and do the offloading there. Now at the moment, a lot of this gameplay is theoretical at this point. What is less theoretical right now is tractor beams being available on multiple other ships. The new Spirit C1 is nicely set up with the co-pilot being able to engage the tractor beam and starting to pull in cargo, weapons, or even bodies into the cargo bay without having to leave your ship. It's a pretty nice quality of life upgrade, and I would imagine that a skilled crew could both take out ships and then strip them in a pretty fast manner. That said, there's a lot left to be desired with the tractor beam gameplay, especially in the SRV, and the inability to move your ship while operating the beam is a bit of a problem. Same with the other ships. The ability to slave the engine control to one of the beam operators would make a huge difference in usability. Trying to line up the ship while having to switch back and forth between driver and tractor beam positions feels like an unnecessary inefficiency. Also, some ships like, say, the Caterpillar are really starting to show their overall design flaws, with the tractor beam being in a location that makes it incredibly hard to load and unload the ship. Unfortunately, there's quite a few ships in the game right now showing that they were designed before many of these gameplay features were properly concepted, and now they're exhibiting reduced functionality with them. I think CIG is going to owe the community some major redesigns, kind of like the 600i is currently getting. Now, IAE, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, is also coming this month. The signage is now visible in the new PTU or ePTU build at Microtech, and the rumors are that a new straight-to-flyable ship will be appearing here along with at least one other concept ship sale. For anyone not in the know, IAE is the Ship Expo event that lets players rent and try out a bunch of ships for free, and also check out the UEE Navy capital ships as they tour around Stanton, including a Javelin internal tour, which I do recommend checking out if you haven't done it before. Now, of course, I've also been jumping into Pyro whenever I can to keep testing and running missions. I was bombing around some of the asteroid clusters, and man, CIG is knocking it out of the park with their new visuals. I desperately want to mine here, even take the prospector into one of these asteroids to do some cave mining. These locations are absolutely stunning. I managed to find some of the planet-side caves as well, and they're just beautifully illuminated with glowy mushroom things inside. Some of these caves are hard to get out of, so don't go in unless you want to Alt F4 your play session. I also had time to explore a few new settlements. There's more vehicles that are just sitting around them, which I really like. It very much invites you to the fun gameplay you might expect from other open world games where vehicles sit around and you can hop into them and use them to travel to your next objective. I also got to check out the medical clinics on the space stations, and they look incredible. Again, the CIG team is flexing real hard here. Honestly, I can't decide what I like more, the interiors of the station or the exteriors. Both are incredible, and especially the exteriors, just with a different look, a completely different approach to station design compared to Stanton. I hope that we get a lot of station variety in the coming systems as well. What CIG is showing here is that each system in the game can bring a truly unique feel to Star Citizen, and I think that could make it one of the most deep and content-rich experiences once more of this vision is actually in players' hands. We haven't even seen systems controlled by the Vandal, the Xi'an, or the Banu, three prominent alien races featured in Star Citizen, and I'm sure their stations and their planets and all that stuff is going to look incredibly crazy compared to what we've already seen. I can't wait for it, and CIG is really delivering a ton of content right now. It's almost hard to keep up with the new content coming into the game at this point, and honestly, I'm loving it. And I hope that CIG can maintain some of this momentum for a bit. One of the more exciting aspects of the 3.21 patch will be the separation of the replication layer. Big brain tech coming potentially before the end of the year. And according to devs, it may open up enough server overhead to boost the player count up to 150 players per server, which would truly be crazy. How have you guys been enjoying your time in the verse over the past couple of weeks? There's a lot going on right now, and I still feel like I'm just dabbling in all of the new stuff available in Pyro. Let me know in the comments, and drop me a like if you enjoyed this content, hit that sub button if you're not already a member, and pop that notification bell to beat the YouTube algorithm with me. Up next, check out my Pyro First Impressions video. There's a lot of Pyro beauty shots in there and some cool gameplay. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.